What's up, tribe? This is Justin, Elevate Credit. Today is day 150. Should you pay off collections? So, thank you guys for following this journey from day 0 to reuniting my wife and my son here in the US. We're talking credit repair, business funding, real estate investing, just taking that next step to achieve that next level. So, today we're talking about collections. Should you pay off collections? So, obviously there are two choices. You can pay it off or you can choose to not pay it off. And I just want to bring this up. There is no law that says you have to pay off collections, right? So you have to understand that 15 USC 1692A defines a debt as an obligation or an alleged obligation. And when we're speaking in legalese, the word or means you have the option. It's one of the two in this case. It's the obligation or the alleged obligation. So you get to choose. Now, I don't want to relay a message that you shouldn't pay back your debt. That's not what I'm saying. I'm a firm believer in if you borrow money, you pay it back based on the terms that were agreed to before you borrowed the money. You make payments on time, and you do the deal and you get the money back. I'm a firm believer in paying my debts. I'm not saying don't pay your debts. But when we're talking about collections, you have the choice. You can pay it back or you can not pay it back. So if you choose to pay it back, that is okay. But in terms of, we're talking about credit repair. That's what we're talking about here. So what you need to do is call the company and you need to get a written letter from the collections agency that says they are going to remove this collections account from all 3 credit bureaus, credit reporting agencies, and they will delete the account from the your credit report. Now, I don't mean closed, because that doesn't do us any good. It's still a negative account, still a negative item that's on our credit report. When I say what I mean is removed, and you need to make it very clear to them they need to remove this account. In addition, you need to get them to mail you paper mail with a wet signature. When they mail it with a wet signature, now this becomes a legally binding contract. And if they don't remove it, there is, of course, legal recourse that you can take. Remember that court starts in the mail, right? So if they don't remove it, there is actions you can take to get what you want. So the second option, of course, is to not pay them. So again, you're not legally, there's no law that says you have to pay back your collections. If you choose to not pay them, what you need to do is you need to mail a debt validation letter to the collections agency. Remember, they are not the original creditor in this case. A collections company buys debts from original creditors for pennies on the dollar, and then they try to collect, they attempt to collect on that debt. So what you need to do in this case is you need to send out a debt validation letter asking them to validate this alleged debt. And 10 times out of 10, when they respond, they will not be able to provide you with all the information that's required for them to validate the debt. It's impossible. They cannot do it. You will always win in this case. But you have to be persistent in letting them know that this is not your debt. It's an alleged debt. So the debt validation in this letter serves as that purpose. What you also have to understand too is when we get into consumer law, 15 USC 1692, talking about harassment and communications, they're not allowed to contact you anytime. They're not allowed to communicate with you at any time. And not only are you not legally obligated to pay the debt, but if they harass you or they communicate with you, now there are remedies that can get you paid. $1,000 per violation. That's how powerful consumer law is. They could owe you money legally So remember that. Remember that consumer law is very powerful when you understand who you are. You're a legally protected consumer, protected by the United States, the corporation, as defined in the United States Code. And there are a lot of different laws that are written around this. So remember that. So thank you guys for following. Remember to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, leave a comment. It helps the algorithms. Check out the link. We have ebooks, e-courses. If you're interested in one-on-one, we can do that as well. Last but not least, to my son Josiah, son, you are blessed, you are anointed. Remember to use credit responsibly, boy, to your success. Salud.